Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Joey. This is not something that I was planning on making a video about, but I saw a news article today and I just felt like I really needed to make a video about this. Sometimes in MMA and especially MMA media coverage, I always feel like there's a lot of things that go unsaid by a lot of the MMA media for fear of backlash from the UFC, for fear of backlash from fighters. They're no longer going to be able to get interviews with certain guys. And I believe there's a lot of things that go unsaid by some of the main MMA media, and it's kind of left untouched. So, nobody really talks about it. The fans don't really talk about it once, a certain amount of time passes, and it's just never brought up again. And there was one story that I feel like in the last 2 months kind of happened, and it was really talked about for like a day or two, and then it just kind of disappeared forever. And that was the Jeremy Stevens versus Drakkar Klose. It was the shove, and it was a shove at the weigh-ins. I'll show the clip later in the video. But Jeremy Stevens, for those of you who don't know, Jeremy Stevens was supposed to fight Drakkar Klose, and at the weigh-ins, obviously they all have their little stare down and whatnot before, right after they weigh in, and they were both in each other's faces, and Jeremy Stevens shoved Drakkar Klose as hard as he possibly could. Drakkar Klose was injured. Apparently, had some type of spinal injury, concussion. Um, Apparently, it was like due to whiplash or whatever. And he was unable to compete in the fight the following day, so the fight was canceled. So there wasn't really much information about it after that. It's like the UFC didn't want the media touching it. Nobody really talked about it. Myself, there was so much other stuff going on. I didn't really cover it too much. I talked about it briefly, probably on the pre-fight or something like that. Um, but this news article today reminded me, and I was like, I have to make a video about this. So, first off, I understand that we're in the sport of cage fighting. MMA is not, they're not hitting the ball around the field. These are guys cage fighting. And I hate when a lot of people take the high road and say, talking to, oh, this sport, and they act like, these guys, are the, supposed to be these great role models and whatnot, but it's cage fighting. But at the end of the day, you go into those weigh-ins and you're not supposed to be putting your hands on the other guy. And I know it happens sometimes. I know I don't personally cry about it, um, but you're not supposed to be doing it. And it's just pointless to me because it just shows you're overly emotional and you're going to fight him tomorrow. So why I don't understand it. Why is that necessary? Some guys just kind of joke around, give a little shove because they want to kind of hype up the fight at the weigh-ins a little bit. But Jeremy Stevens just really took it to the next level and shoved him so hard. And I don't like the shove personally. You're going to fight him tomorrow. Why are you doing that anyway? Uh, but what really bothers me is then Jeremy Stevens, uh, the path that he took after that shove and subsequent injury to Drakkar Klose. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, my bad, let's rebook the fight, I apologize, it wasn't your fault. He kind of just never really said much about it. Then this news story came out either today or yesterday, and he basically said, I have no interest in fighting Drakkar Klose. I won the fight, I shoved him, and he was unable to continue, basically calling him a bitch. And I just think that just makes you look like a piece of shit, in my opinion. You did what you did, okay, and maybe you didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, but it clearly hurt him. It's not like he's lying about it. The UFC had their doctors check him out and said he had some type of spinal injury, said he had a concussion. You clearly did damage, and people who are going to say, "Oh, if he gets that hurt by a push, what's going to happen in a fight?" Well, come on now, that's not accurate. That's not a great comparison at all. The guy had his hands behind his back. He was not expecting that by any means, and it caught him off guard. And it was a violent push. And again, I'm not going to cry about it. This stuff happens in cage fighting in MMA. But you know what I mean? Jeremy Stevens could took a lot, better approach after the fact. And I'm going to kind of get into my point of why I think he should have, but I just want to put my opinion out there that I really think this is a piece of shit move. To come out and say, oh, I already beat him because I shoved him and he couldn't continue. And I know some people are going to criticize me and say, dude, it's a push, get over it. We're watching cage fighting. And again, I'm saying I understand that. But he injured the guy, regardless of what, if it was a push, if it was a trip, if it was a minor kick, he injured the guy and he caused the fight cancellation. In my opinion, Jeremy Stevens should have been not only fined for this, I think there should have been some small repercussions for this. Um, you can't be. It just sets a bad precedent, and I know the UFC loves to promote this type of stuff. But anyway, another reason that I think this is so disgusting and particularly egregious on Jeremy Stevens' part is, and I want to go back to September of 2019. He was eye poked in the beginning of the fight against Yair Rodriguez. And I really took Jeremy Stevens' side on this, and I still am on his side on this case. Yair acted like an asshole afterwards. He acted like Jeremy was faking and couldn't continue and was really just crying and whining about it. It was a bad look for Yair, and I criticized him then. I said, you know what I mean? You poked the guy in the eye and he couldn't continue. It's your fault. Imagine had Yair said, you know what? I stopped him in our last fight. I'm not going to rematch him again. Yair went on to rematch him and beat him badly in a rematch. The first fight really didn't count. But, of all guys, to come out, and push a guy, he's injured, concussed, and then say, well, I beat him, and he says, oh, it was a primal instinct. Just disgusting. I think it was totally disgusting. What if you would have called this guy some serious injury? And I know everyone's probably laughing, oh, it's a push, but you never know, especially when the guy isn't expecting it. They always say in MMA, what hurts you the most are the punches you don't see coming. Klose did not see this coming at all. They have the guy in the middle supposedly to kind of negate stuff like this, but obviously it doesn't work all the time. But Yair could have said, you know what, I stopped you in our last fight. I'm not going to rematch you. And then also, Jeremy Stevens, and maybe this isn't fair for this criticism of him, but you have some room talking when you look back at your last, 5 fights. You were KO'd by Calvin Kattar in your last fight. Then you were beat pretty handily by Yair Rodriguez to a decision. Then obviously you have the no contest against Yair with the eye poke. You were beat handedly by Zabit Magomed Sharipov. And you were beat handedly by Jose Aldo. You were TKO'd by him. So basically, you've not won a single fight in your last 5 fights. You're pushing a guy, causing a fight cancellation, and then you want to shit on him afterwards? Come on, man. I promised you guys I'd show the push in case you didn't see it already. I'll show you guys that now. So there you have it. I mean, it's not much to say. It's just a freak injury. But I just feel like there should have been some more sportsmanship from Jeremy Stevens. There should have been an apology. There should have been some repercussions. Because if not, this sets a dangerous precedent. Guys are going to do this type of shit all the time. We always see it all the time now. They're going to fight the next day. So for me, and I get it, it gets some people pumped. But for me, it does nothing. These guys are going to fist fight the very next day. A push at the weigh-ins has the same effect on me or emotional effect on me that guys, when they don't fight for a whole 5 rounds, in the last 5 seconds, they're pointing at the center of the octagon saying, let's bang, bro. They didn't fight for the whole first 4 rounds and whatever, but the last 5 seconds of the fight, all of a sudden they got all this energy. That's the same way I feel about guys who are attacking each other at the weigh-ins. Come on, you're going to fight in the 24 hours later. Come on now, it doesn't matter. So I just felt the need to put out this video, put my opinion out for it. Let me know, am I crazy? Am I completely off base? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.